Yeah, we have a bunch of executive coaches, and I have to tell you, it's really an exciting process. Wow, what a panel this morning, so much covered. When you leave, you'll get a copy of our book, Navigating Your Career, which has to do with developing your job inside your present company. It has to do with executive coaching. Let's just hear from the audience, just hear any questions, any comments that you might have about, there was so much covered this morning. Anybody have any? And please state your name and organizational affiliation. Yes, we'll take you first, you second, and Rob third. What is your name and organizational affiliation, if any?
This is for Ryan. I was curious about how you determined which individuals were high potentials.
Let me just repeat the question. Ryan, how do you determine which individuals are high potentials?
We actually have a nomination process, and it's somewhat subjective, but it's a nomination process for the executive staff, the department heads in the organization, and we also allow people to self-nominate.
Okay, excellent. And may I have your name and organizational affiliation? You had your hand raised? Yes.
It's funny. I never had to really present the business reasons for it. It was actually something that my boss came to me, the CEO came to us about, and said that we keep getting poached by our competitors, and we wanted to set up something because we have a very small industry. We have about 10 competitors. It's very specialized, so it's sort of incestuous. People go from one place to another. So we wanted to set it up so that if that happens or if people are leaving, that we would have somebody lined up just to move right into their spots.
Okay. How about anybody in the back? Okay, first you, yes. What is your name and organizational affiliation, if any?
Jeff Ellis from Transcare. For Kevin, can you tell me what the survey tool that you use for the employee engagement? And also want to hear, it sounded like HR got feedback directly from employees to analyze and set up some goals. How did you engage your unit or operational managers in that?
Could you repeat the question, Kevin?
Sure. He asked about the survey tool we use for engagement and how we engage not just HR, but the operational people, the managers in the company as well. It's a externally hosted tool from a UK-based consulting firm called Kaizen, Kaisen. Once we got the data back, our learning and development team analyzed it. We then set up focus groups across our business, some based regionally, some based on practice areas. And that was the takeaways that we used to start some of the initiatives. Does that answer your question?
One little clarification. With the focus groups, so were our managers then given the feedback directly?
With the focus groups, are managers given the feedback directly, is the question?
Yes. As part of our performance appraisal process, there was a section about that directly from the focus groups and from individuals, yes.
Okay, yes, may I have your name and organizational affiliation?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that there was any connection with the program that caused them to consider leaving the company? And generally, did you have positive participation from your senior level?
So the question for Ryan is, out of the 16 people we identified, 4 left during the program. Why did they leave, and was the program successful, et cetera?
As I said in the previously, it's a very incestuous industry that we work in, and they all went to competitors. A couple of them went to startups, and we tried to tell them that was a bad move because the startups wouldn't last too long. But I guess they were getting offers that were better than what we were giving them. I'm sorry, the second part of the question I didn't. Oh yes, I got. You asked whether or not we thought it had anything to do with the program. No, not at all. Not at all.
But for those that
Did those who were identified for
yes.
participation feel positive?
I would say of the 7 executives, 6 out of 7 of them were very positive about it.
Okay. Rob Hellman.
Hi, thanks for a great presentation. This is for any or all of you. Any actions that you can recommend that leaders or managers can take on their own to improve employee engagement?
Okay, so you're going to have to keep it short, Kevin. But why don't we start with you?
Communication and feedback. That's what I find is the biggest gap that people aren't getting. Intranet announcements don't work. We really need to, as a company, and I think many share my view, is you need to really speak to people. Everyone doesn't pick up and resonate something just because they see it on a computer screen. So regular staff meetings, opportunities for asking questions, I think that would be a good start.
Okay, Ryan, do you have a comment?
Sure. You know, it's interesting. After this meeting, me and my staff are actually going to an employee satisfaction survey meeting for the IT department in our company. What we've done is we've realized the way to best improve engagement is to really engage everybody. So we have been doing this sort of dog and pony show where we go around to every single department. We have a lot of remote locations as well, so we go to every single department and just get ideas and from them about what they think would improve employee satisfaction and employee engagement. And the wealth of information that we're getting as a result of these meetings from people is really, really incredible. So yeah, to actually engage the employees about the engagement.
Okay, Anita?
Another aspect, I think, is having them talk about their development actions. Where do they want to go? Really engaging them in their career so that they see a career within the organization. They see opportunities, not only just to do the job that they're doing, but can see where else they can go in the company if that's their choice.
I just want to say, too, in our organization even, we have to engage our coaches who then engage the job hunters or the employees. So, for example, the executive coaches, which is a different team than our job search coaches, executive coaches have regular meetings, teleconference meetings with each other where they compare notes about people that they're coaching in organizations and how's it working and brainstorm with each other. And that keeps the team together. They also come up with ideas, and so then we start implementing those ideas across the board in all the companies that we're working with. On the career development side, Chip can tell you he's a leader of coaches. He's one of the leaders of coaches, and he'll get his coaches together and they brainstorm how they can handle certain topics differently, what's happening in the economy, which keeps our coaches engaged and which also keeps the people that we're working with, we call them the clients. We don't call you the clients. You're the customers. But anyway, it keeps our clients engaged too. So we do that all the time in our organization as well. Who else had a comment or question? Yes, and what is your name and organizational affiliation? And then we'll take you.
Sure, Stacy with Reader's Digest. Ryan, just a quick question about the planning. Is it cyclical, or is it like once a year they kind of sit down, HR spearheads it, or how does that?
The question is, the succession planning, is it cyclical, once a year, how often?
The answer is yes. HR does spearhead it. It is cyclical. So even before, it was sort of hard for me to present that during the course of the presentation, but even before the end of the first cycle, you're starting a second one.
And what is your name and organizational affiliation?
Deborah Carr, AXA Art Insurance. My question is for Ryan. How do you apply succession planning when you have a very, very small organization?
Well, I don't have one, so. Yeah, I'm. You know, my experience is with a medium to large size organization, but the key to what we're doing is converting the individual knowledge into institutional memory. And the point is that if any individual walks out of the organization, you just don't want that knowledge to leave with them. So
Exactly. We're a small organization. I just want to reiterate what Ryan just said, that guess what? That is what we do. Every job is documented, and we're going to pick up some of the things Ryan said here as well. Every job is documented to the extent that if the person walked out the door tomorrow and a new person came in, that person should be able to pick up that documentation theoretically and do the job just based on that documentation without having to sit with the person. That is what we do in our organization. I'm going to tell you, I'm just like that about it. Is it documented? Is it documented? You're doing this new thing. Is it documented? not only what you're doing, but why you're doing, how to do it, all of that kind of stuff. But I also picked up a lot of ideas from Ryan, too. I am so sorry, but keeping with our promise, we have to leave. But I just want to thank our Job Hunter Report, Chris, the HR Hero of the Year, and especially our panelists. Give them a round of applause. And you, too, for coming today. Yay!